Good evening, everybody. Tiffany from Dragonflyer Studios with you this evening. I do apologize for the lateness of the post of my video. It's supposed to come out on Saturday, but like all of you, I'm super busy and school is ending and summer is coming, and with that, all of the chaos of life. So, it is Sunday, and we are back with our green eggs and ham tutorial, building this wonderful, cute little tiny journal here. It is pretty small. I mean, that's the size of my hand on it. It's just a VHS cover, as you may know. And tonight, I thought I would give you a way to use up some envelopes. We all get them, junk mail, you know, those wonderful things that you've been approved for $25,000 worth of credit. Now, what I'm using tonight is not junk mail envelopes. They are, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the 100-day envelope challenge. I used it. I did the savings program. It did work. However, it was a bit of a struggle for our household. So I've taken all the money out of the envelopes. I never actually sealed them shut because I was like, that's just a waste of envelopes. So I've saved them. These are a couple from that, but we're going to decorate them up. You'll never even know that Mr. 99 and 100 were there. So this one's pretty self-explanatory, where I'm going to create an envelope flip out, and I'm going to do one for signature 1 and one for signature 2, just as I've been doing. And this just, this just adds another little extra bit of storage space for bits and bobs, maybe pictures. If you do use your journals for writing, this is a great way to create some privacy. You can put a, please do not read sticker on the outside of here, or write on it, for my eyes only, or what have you. So yeah, and it just acts as an extra page, pretty easy. We're just going to attach it like so. So I thought I would show you how I decorate up my envelopes and make them pretty to go along with the beautifulness of our journal. These are not the Lickum kind of envelope. They are the I don't know, pull tab? I don't know what you want to call it. They're the pre-glued ones. So what we're going to do is we're gonna make these things all nice and pretty for the inside of our journal. And we're going to start by doing that with some wonderful pretty papers. So I haven't prepared anything. I just got these out and turned the camera on and was like, all right, guys, you're here for the duration. I do appreciate everybody that has come along and joined the channel. It is growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm so excited to be here and to get to show you more things, and hopefully we all learn something along the way. From time to time, I belong to several different channels, and from time to time I'll go back and rewatch something that they've done, because you never know. Oh, look, these are double-sided. Look at that. That one's gorgeous. I like that one a lot. Oh, that one's not double-sided. That one is, though. Alright, I think we're going to use those two. So yeah, I'll go back to channels that I've subscribed to and rewatch them, because you never know what's gonna pop up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open both these guys up, because I don't mind the little privacy setting stuff here most of the time, but for this instance I'm gonna go a little bit further and add something to the inside of the envelope that will make it just a little bit different, a little bit unique. I try to add things like that. So what I'm doing is I'm building off of this color palette here. So they've got the red, what I'm going to call a posy. It might meant to be a rose, but I'm going to say it's a red posy. And so I'm just matching the red to that. It's just a little pinstripe paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this, maybe, I'm going to put this inside there. And I'm going to bring it up to the edge of the envelope. It doesn't come all the way to the ends, but you know what? I'm not going to stress about that. I normally would make sure that it goes all the way to the ends, but you know what? This is just something to hide that envelope, the privacy markings that are on it. So we're just going to go with that. I'm going to set Mr. Green Eggs and Ham over here, move my envelopes, get myself all set up. It's been a crazy weekend. I don't know where you guys are at or where you're watching from, but I'm here in the wonderful state of Texas, and we only have 2.5 days of school left in our school year. So I work with the school district where I'm from, and I'm our router, so I'm responsible for transportation. for all of our kiddos that ride our buses. And this time of year, it's crazy. I just pulled off that, it's like this little wax piece of paper. I just don't want it sticking out there. So I'm just going to slide this down in here, and I'm going to line it up the best I can with that edge of the envelope. Make sure everything's nice and laid down. If it sticks over a little bit, no big deal. That's what we have a knife for, a craft knife for. I'm just going to smooth it out, make sure it's nice and flat in there. And then I'm actually going to come back with a set of, well, not those. I'm going to come back with a set of, they're just little kids craft scissors. And I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to give it a little trim. And just kind of decorate up that edge a little bit. These do take a little bit to cut because I'm, you got to line up the teeth of this pair of scissors, so to speak, to keep the design as one whole line. You don't have to. You could just start chomping, and it'll create its own individual pattern. But that's how I do it. So there's that. So now we're going to fold it at its natural crease. I'm going to fold it over, get it as close to that natural crease. That piece of paper that I glued in there is cardstock, so it's added a little bit of heft to the crease line, and that's where our handy dandy bone folders come in. Or if you have a popsicle stick works just fine. You don't have to have a bone folder. And then that way we have our natural crease for our envelope, so that, and this, by doing this, you also reinforce the hinge that's on this side, so that if the journal should get a lot of work and you're doing this a lot to it, putting stuff in and taking stuff out or whatever, or what have you, the leaf isn't going to separate from the envelope itself. So now we're going to take this piece of paper, and I'm not necessarily worried this time around about covering the whole envelope surface with paper. You can, by all means, you can make these guys as embellished or as plain as you want. If it was just a plain white envelope and you just wanted extra storage, you could totally just glue it on and call it a day. You don't have to do anything that I'm doing. By all means, just have fun with it is what I want everybody to do. I just want you to have fun. Alright, so we're just going to take this. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating this little bitty border around the outside of my envelope. Dun, 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 dun. I'm totally eyeballing this. I'm not measuring anything. And then we're just going to rip it off of there. There we go. So now we have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with this, and I'm going to grab my daubers. Daubers. And I use, this is my favorite. Everybody has their favorite shade of vintage brown to use. Mine happens to be ground espresso because I am a coffee lover. So, ironically though, not an espresso drinker. Go figure. I am a latte lover. Oh, you might hear my kiddo in the background. He's in his room right now decompressing from the day's events. My son is autistic, and he's 12, going on 13, getting ready to be a 7th grader. It's crazy, but he's doing wonderful. He's fabulous, and I love him to pieces. All right, so there's that. So now this is going to go on here like that. I really like that paper. It's so pretty. And then, oh, this green is fabulous too. So what if we go, so it's one of these things that I don't know if anybody else uses this. If you can see down here to the corner of my Fiskars mat, we all have these, well, at least the Fiskars mats do. I don't know about everybody's cutting mat, but this mat in particular comes with these angle lines, so it helps you to cut a very specific angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mat right there, and then I'm going to line up my ruler, and I'm going to give this a cut right along there. Then I'm going to bring this back, and I'm going to line it up. Let's see, I need to go this way with it. Nope. I need it to be Bear with me, guys. I need it to be 45 degrees this way, so if that's 45 and that's 45, this one's going to be 90. So what I need to do is bring my carpenter square over here. And I want to go from the point to the angle, and I'm going to cut it right along there. And then I know it's not as wide as the piece of paper, but that's not what I was going for. I just really like the idea of that being a little accent piece, because this is going to go in the book this way. So this will be like this. I don't know. Ooh, I may have it go that way. Ooh, yeah. What if we do another one? What if, let's see. If we go from here, put that line there and that line there, and make it nice and straight. We just run it across at this line. And then do the same thing. Whoops, this way. Flip that around so it's easier to work with. Bring this in. So now I have 2 horizontal and 2 vertical. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, instead of gluing this down, just slathering it, I'm going to create an extra little pocket right here. So you'll open this up and you'll have a pocket on the inside, and then there'll be a nice little pocket on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to grab my silicone glue. This is Fabrifix that I'm using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a U-shape glue on... Before I do that, hang on. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm prepared, sometimes I'm not. This is what you get when you craft real time with Tiffany at the Dragonflower Studios. We are just willy-nilly all over the place. There we go. And then come back with my ink dauber and kind of just age that up a little bit. There we go. So now there's a little thumb pull for whatever I stick in there. You can pull it out. Also gives the user an indication that there is there's a use for that. It's not just decor. So I'm just going to go around this with a giant U-shape glue line. And then I always come back and make sure I hit my corners real well. Just because they're the ones that are going to get the most wear and tear by, anybody who takes things in and out. So if it's attached on the book, this side of the book this way, I'm going to try for center, because I did create myself a little frame. If I don't hit it, no harm, no foul. It's just paper. There we go. Okay. Move everything else aside. And I'm just going to give this a good press around the edges, just to make sure it's good and sealed. And then I've learned the hard way. You want to make sure that that glue is set up before you try to put a card in there. I accidentally glued a note card. I've accidentally glued a couple of note cards into something. Unintentionally. So, alright, we're going to hit this with some espresso ink. Wonder if do any of y'all have big plans for the... Oh, you know what? No, I wanted vertical. I didn't want horizontal. Yeah, that's okay. It happens. I have no fingernails, so it's very hard to pick things up sometimes. Bear with me. I hope everybody's enjoying the videos. I've enjoyed the comments. And I love checking you guys out. I know some of you have joined because of the Facebook pages that we mutually belong to. I want to say thank you to everybody. I really do appreciate it. I wasn't sure if this was gonna flop when I first started, because I know there are lots of other much more well-established junk journals who've been doing this much longer than I have. I've been scrapbooking, card making, junk journaling, smash booking, all that pretty much my entire adult life, but never bothered to put anything out into the world that people would see or judge or like or dislike. Alright, so I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to put this here. Oh, did I ever move the camera back? I did not. You guys are all stuck down there in the corner. Alright. So here's what we've got so far. I'm just trying for center on these, keeping them straight. I really am just eyeballing it. There's no pre-made marks or anything like that. So now what we've created is an envelope flip out that I will shortly attach to Into Green Eggs and Ham. And then we've also created a pocket here that we can put things in. And then when you flip it open, there's a pocket there. So I think this little guy here needs a little something something. Bear with me, I'll be right back. Gotta go to the card catalog. See what we can find over here that might be interesting. Oh, what if we use this guy? Okay, and again, for those of you that are truly beginners, do not let what you see me do deter you from trying. Like I said, I've been at this most of my adult life, so I've been given things, I've purchased things, I have found things, you know, over the years, and I've just hung on to them, mostly stamps and markers and pens and scissors and all the office supplies I have in my life. It's, well, it makes me truly happy. So this is just a tag stamp. It's just going to imprint the image right here on this envelope, and let's do it this way. Let's go, we're gonna make it hang a little crooked. There we go. All right, and I don't care that part of the stamp got on there. It's okay. It's just paper. No big deal. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is, oh yeah, we're gonna decorate up this little tag. How about that? Okay, I'm just gonna come in with my pencil and just mark here and here. I said here. The pencil said, no, I don't think so. Not today, Missy. All right. We're just going to come back, line up those two marks, and cut the paper. Super, super technical, I know. Alright, I'm just going to come back. I'm going to give that a little decorum, like so. Alright, let's glue that down. Oh, maybe. Alright.
There is a message for you.
There we go. And then we're going to come in with a felt tip pen, maybe. See, like these, this is a collection. I mean, it's a whole set, yes, but I've had them forever. Me and pens are, well, we're like peas and carrots, you know what I'm saying? So I don't just want to write private. I want to say, how about this? How about we say this? There we go. So it just says, please respect what's inside. And there we have it. We have a cute little thing that whenever you flip it open, you have a tuck here, and we're gonna make journal cards and ephemera for Mr. Green Eggs and Ham. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come back here and I'm gonna give this a good smattering. That's a word I like to use. I just like to say it, smattering. A good smattering of glue. And I did like that blue page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this page, or the envelope, and I'm going to bring it all the way down to the edge of that paper. Try for center if you so choose. Now, if you're using a smaller envelope, you could definitely put one up here, which I will probably do a couple of those in this book as well. You could do one up here, or you could do one down here. I just try to make sure that it's even with the edge of the page, and then just fold it over and mush it into place. Make sure that glue takes hold. There we go. And then there you have a beautiful decorated envelope pullout that you can lift out this way. It still leaves this space open for journaling or gluing in of pictures or any kind of ephemera that you or the user may want. And then you also have this wonderful little pocket that's over here that you can stuff whatever you would like into it, as well as a pocket out here. There you go. And there's how you do that one. All right, let's make this other one, shall we? All right. It's always fun to see these come to fruition and their final project. I really like the stars on this one. I don't know if you guys do or not, but I really do. So here's one where I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a little something different. Oh, with this one here, so when you flip this over, this is why I cut that before I glued it down, because it gives a little decoration. And so what I'll do is when we come to the episode where I just go in and I just decorate pages, that's by adding stickers and decals, and I'll draw on some of them and color on other ones and things of that nature. I'll take some care in decorating this little edge that's right through here, or I may leave it blank. I do plan on selling this one, so I may leave it blank for the person that's going to buy it. Or I may decorate it up. I'll make that call whenever we get down to it. And you can do, of course, what you wish with yours. Okay. So, we're going to take this guy and we're going to put him in here like that. And then we're going to pull off his little, I don't even know, wax tape, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to put the glue here this time. I'm going to show you a different way of covering up that privacy cover on the inside of the envelope. I'm just going to make sure that all of these surfaces are covered. And then because I want the stars showing, I'm going to take this, lift it up, and I'm just going to slide this all the way down in there until it goes edge to edge. And then I'm going to push it down. Because it doesn't matter what's down inside there, whatever you're pushing down in it, it's not going to want to pull it back out. I'm just going to mush that down. And then we're just going to come over here, and I'm going to use my plain ruler. And these envelopes have a little bit of a bevel, so I'm just going to line it up to what I think is about the edge of that. And I'm going to cut it off straight. Okay, and then with my handy dandy scissors, just going to come back in here and I'm just going to trim this up to match the page. There we go. Okay, there you have that. And I'm going to find the natural fold, just like we did on the other one, maybe. This is still cardstock I'm working with, so the natural fold is very rigid at this point. So just take your time with it. Grab my bone folder, work that edge back into there, and then there we have that. So now this time, what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to come on this side of it, and I'm going to ink the edges. Where's my ink pad? As summer comes along, these poor daubers dry out more and more. But that's life in Texas, right? It's been 94 degrees here for, I don't know, a week straight. And it wouldn't even be so bad if it was a dry heat, but it's not a dry heat. It's humid. You walk outside, you feel like you're in a sauna. Feel like you either need to take a shower or you just took a shower. Didn't quite cowl off all the way. It's quite disturbing, honestly. Okay, so there's that. Oh. go. Okay. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this side. So I have a different plan for the outside of this envelope. What I'm going to do is I am going to use this side of it for storage because I really like to do that when I do my envelope flip outs. I try not to leave it as an unused space. There's no point in adding something to your journal, especially if it's something like this that's going to add a little bit of bulk to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the intended user a bit of writing space. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Bear with me, guys. Oh, look. There's a page of music. That will work fabulously. And then I also use digital prints in some of my stuff, so I always make sure that I have some of these available. Have no idea what's on there. Probably ink, knowing me. So I just print these off on yellow parchment paper. It's this one in particular is one-sided. It's meant to be glued down. Usually we'll print on two sides of a piece of paper so that I can have if I fold it over and use it as a journal page, then there's lines on both sides. So this envelope is, flip it over to inches. I hate measuring with that thing. For some reason it's wonky and weird. Inches are not inches. And so yeah, I try. Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I try not to. Sorry, I'm looking for the hat pin for my silicone bottle. If I don't keep that thing plugged up, it'll dry out on me. Alright, real quick while I'm talking and doing all this measuring. Good grief. While I'm talking and doing all this measuring. Okay. Plug everything up so nothing dries out. This is, it says 3 3/4. There you go, right there. So I'm going to cut it back to about 3 1/2. And this way says 6 1/2. So I'm going to do 6 1/4. That's what I'm going to cut my paper at. So, maybe. Here we go. You guys ever start out with a totally clean desk and by the time you're done with it, you're working in like this much space? I do it all the time. I don't know how it happens. I'm pretty good at putting stuff away, but I swear, every time I turn around, I'm like, what happened to the surface of my table? So what we're going to do is we're just going to trim this off. Oh, maybe not. It's time to change my X-Acto knife. It's not cutting through paper on one swipe. I really don't know what's on this, but it really is ink. Yep, it's an ink. It's an ink blot. Okay, so we're going to go here and measure over 3 1/2 and 3 1/2. Line up our dots and tear it off. And then what did I say the other was? 6 1/2? 6 1/4. Measure twice, cut once. 6 1/4. Same rule that applies in lumber applies in, well, everything. Measure it twice, cut it once. So 6 1/4 is going to put this line right next to the bottom of the page. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to slide my ruler down and I'm going to put the 6-inch mark on that line and then go there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. 6-inch mark. I'm going to go there. And then we're going to go 6 1/4 here. And 6 1/4 there. So what I'm doing is effectively turning the front of this envelope into a journaling space, like so, for the user to find. So what? Oh, hold on just a second. Sorry, I'm back. That was my kiddo. You know, sometimes that stuff happens. So what I'm going to do, since I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it, the 99 shows through. I'm just going to take my distressing ink, and I'm just going to try and fudge that up a little bit. Just to try and hide it. It may make it worse. It may make it better. Yep, it's gone away now. So there you go. I'm just going to put that like so. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the music page. Just a second. Okay. We are going to glue this down. There we go. You can really do this with any envelope. I have a whole drawer that I have saved from the mail that comes in for my larger journals, and they're great. They work wonders. Okay, so I really like the holes that are alongside this page. Let's see. So if I want them to just stick, okay, so it's going to go on the page this way. Actually, we did that one this way. So if we put, so I did that one in signature 1. What I do in signature 1, I try to do in all the signatures so that I fill out the book evenly. What tends to happen, at least in one of my earlier journals that I started doing this with, was I got in the bad habit of only putting stuff in signature 1, and then it got all super duper chunky, and the rest of them looked like they hadn't eaten in a very long time. So we don't want that to happen. So I've gotten used to what I do in the first signature, I do in the second signature, or at least I try very hard to. Now I do some of my larger journals. I don't always mirror, like, you know, one for one kind of scenario. I think this page will be a good page to put this on. So if we're going to go this way with it so that it lifts out the other way, we want to make sure that we know that this side is the top side and that's the bottom side. So we want to make sure that the flap is on our left. There we go. I know that was a very complicated way to explain that, but that's what you get. So I really think I just like the holes and not so much the music sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the part of the paper right now that I really like as a bit of an embellishment. I'm just going to use the bars from the music lines as a guide. And I can't really come in and tear this. This is a genuinely old book. The paper is somewhat fragile. If I were to try and tear that, it has the potential to break rather than tear. So that's why I came in with the knife. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach this right along this edge to kind of give it a little character, like so. Okay, yeah. And then instead of putting the glue on my fragile piece of paper, I'm going to put the glue on my envelope instead. And I'm not really looking to glue down the holes. Like, I kind of want it to act as a bit of a fringe. And I'm not going to cut it off super even with the envelope. I am getting it right up to the edge as far as where the flap folds, because as you start to do this, I don't want the edge of this to wear off or to wear down. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to clip it there, and we're just going to clip it there. I want it to look a little disheveled, so to speak. There we go. And then this edge here is not fully glued down, okay? And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and purposely raise it up away from the surface, because I'm going to come back with... Oh, let's see, what colors do we have? Oh, we're working with browns here. We don't really have a color palette to go with, so why don't we pick... Decisions. How about we go with... I'll just close my eyes and pick something. Eyes are closed, guys. I don't know what color's fixing to come out of here. Alright, here we go. What do we got? Oh, well, I picked a holiday. Okay. So why don't we go with these little red and gold, blue, teal, black hearts right here? Where is it? Where's the end of it? That's the only problem with these. So this is washi tape. This is how my washi tape gets stored. Anytime I buy a new roll of washi tape, I make sure and do this with it. It's a great way if you, I have a very small studio. It's a great way that if you are limited with your space, that you can own more washi tape without having to have 500 rolls of washi tape all end to end or in a cabinet or a drawer or suitcase or what have you. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and kind of lay it underneath it here as best I can. It's not perfect. Nobody cares. Just paper. There we go. So that gives it just a little something. I'm not wanting to cut that paper off, but I do want to trim the washi tape right to the edge of my envelope. Well, that's part of my finger now. So I'm just going to pull this out of the way and maybe, there we go, trim that off. There we go. So now we have that as the front side of our envelope flip out. Remember, it's going to flip out this way, so that the flap is going to go over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and using that same washi tape, I'm going to go ahead. I say I'm going to go ahead. Maybe not. Maybe the washi tape won't let me. There we go. Okay. I'm going to use the same washi tape and go ahead and decorate that flap that's there. Oh, maybe. There we go. And I'm just going to run this down the middle like that. It doesn't have to be a lot. You know, by the time you add a little bit here and you add a little bit there, you've got way more embellishment going on than you might originally have thought. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to come back, since we've got red going on in the hearts, the flip side of that star pattern that I used just happens to be a red plaid. So I think what I'm going to do for this guy is I'm going to create, oh, it does, it has that, this piece has the white remnant of the flap that we originally cut. So I'm just going to come down through here. I'm going to use these, I'm going to use its own pattern as a line. Kind of, sort of, maybe, not really, I don't know. There we go. I'm just going to trim that off, and I'm going to come back here, and nope, I want to go right to the edge with it. Yep. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, since I know I'm not going to need this whole thing, I'm going to try and salvage what I can out of this, because I like the color and I like the pattern. And paper's expensive, so if I can save little pieces like that, I usually will. And I encourage you to. Let's keep stuff out of the landfills. That's why I reuse a lot of envelopes. I reuse a lot of stuff. I've got a box of cereal boxes that have been broken down waiting to be turned into whatever. I reuse the cereal bags. I just try to reuse a lot. So there we go. There's what that looks like. I actually really kind of like that. That's what it looks like closed. Yep, and then you could probably do something else, an embellishment or something over there. I'm not. I'm going to leave it as it is. And I don't have anything in mind yet of what could go there, but you never know. If you're like me, like I went through and organized all my stickers today and forgot that I had quite a few of them. So, you know, it's not always a good idea to have too much stuff, because then it just sits. And, you know, when you bought it, you had every intention of using it, but then something else comes along, and or you've switched a theme, or a holiday has hit you, and the once beautiful thing that you bought is still sitting in the box unused. But there you go. There's what that one's going to look like. So now, let's go in here, and I think I had intended on putting it over here. Yes. So it's going to go like this. No, it's going to go like this. There we go. So here's what I was talking about. So here's the problem. This page is just a little bit shorter than what the envelope is going to allow, but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Because what we don't want to do is get too close to the spine. Remember when I said whenever you're gluing things in, try to stay about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch away from the spine. And even if this hangs over, I've got the edge of my book to help protect it, so that's not a big deal. It'll create just a little bit of differentiation, like when the book is closed. See how it's going to stick out? But that's okay. By the time this journal is done, it's going to have lots of things sticking out of the front of it. Well, probably on all 4 sides. If you don't want your pages to stick out at all, if that's not an aesthetic that you like, that's okay. Just find a longer page. You could go over here and you could glue it to the back side of this one, or to this one. Whatever makes you happy and goes with what you're doing. But that's your options. So all I'm going to do is I'm just not going to put glue all the way to the bottom crease of that flap, so that it doesn't want to stick to itself. So since it's going to be on this side, we're going to put the envelope where we want it. Trying to go for somewhat center on my page, and then I'm just gonna no crookedness. We don't want that going on. That's not our end goal. There we go. We're just gonna push that down, make sure that page stays. And so the way I've done this is now already embellished, so I don't have to go back and do anything to it, or could. There's always that option. There we go. We're just going to make sure that's smushed down. So then there you have it. So there's this envelope lift out that we also created a tuck with, or a pocket rather, less or more than a tuck. And then we have this envelope fold out that you can fold out and put whatever you would like down in there. There we go. All right, so there you have it. That's how you do envelope fold outs. It does add a little bit of thickness, especially once you start tucking things in there. So just keep that in mind. He's a natural gator mouth. That's just how he stands up. I don't know how we're gonna enclose, what kind of closure we're gonna have. We might just do a tie around enclosure. But for right now, that's all I've got for you for this episode. I know it wasn't super intense and nothing major, but for those of you that's just beginning, you may not know where to go or what to do. That's another option for you, and that's what I'm here for. I'm really here for the beginners, and maybe those of you that have been crafting for a while may not know some things that I do, but I appreciate every one of you. I know I've said it before. I appreciate every one of you. If you want to continue to see, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Give me a like. Give me a follow. Share my YouTube channel with your friends and your family. I appreciate anything and everything you can do to help me grow it. But until next time, we will see each other again. Thank you for watching. Bye.